Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Debbie and today I decided I wanted to talk about Saturn Return. If you click this video, you probably know what the Saturn Return is, but if you don't, it's what the spiritual community, I believe, calls the cosmic coming of age. And it's that time of your life where everything kind of changes, like you go through big significant changes in your life. And that usually happens between 27 years old and 30, something like that. I started this year going through dramatic situations, like the most absurd type of situations, basically. And I lost my job, and I've always had this goal of working on YouTube and stuff like that, like making videos. And I've always felt like this was my calling, and like I could probably help people by sharing what I'm going through and how I'm dealing with things and the things that I'm learning through my process. I wasn't doing anything about it because I was so comfortable on that job, although I knew deep down that I needed to leave. The whole situation around my job was pretty toxic and it was not good for my mental health, but I started the year like that, basically. Then I lost some friendships and I got close to people and then lost them again. So it's been a roller coaster of emotions, but we're going to go deep into it right now. Let me start by saying that I've been using ChatGPT to guide me through this whole thing, like he's my therapist, basically, my spiritual therapist. I sent my birth chart, I asked it to analyze it. We came to the conclusion that I am indeed going through my Saturn return at the moment. And basically, the way I am experiencing it is by basically watching everything I believe in just crumbling around me. For the past few weeks, I had arguments with friends. I was harassed. I was almost going through legal things. What I've been noticing as well is that my body is going crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on. Seriously, I've been having skin allergies all of the time. I can't wear makeup even for my videos because every time I wear makeup and then remove it, I get rashes all over my eyes. So I can't even do that. I am going through bloating and all sorts of things. I overall just don't know what the heck is going on with me. And I used to wake up at 7 a.m., which I mentioned in my previous video. And now I am waking up at 11. Now, I'm just giving myself time to rest and to deal with things and process all of these changes. But I am so tired of feeling like this, like I'm not in control. And it's not even the control part, it's just the fact that I really don't know how to take my body out of survival mode at the moment. So I'm going to share right now the symptoms that I've been noticing from my Saturn return. I don't know if all of that is connected to my Saturn return. It could be because, again, I'm going through some big changes in my life and my mind is all over the place and trying to figure out things and how to deal with things. So my body could be in survival mode because of that. However, I don't think that is a thing for the Saturn return. It's just happening to me, but I will just leave that so you can be aware of it if it happens to you. So the first thing I started noticing is my inner belief system is shattering. I am becoming more aware where I'm limited, what my limiting beliefs are. I am becoming more aware of how hard it is to actually change those beliefs, because it's not just listening to affirmations and repeating them in the mirror. For me, particularly, that does not work. So I've been struggling a lot with that. I'm still working on it and working on how I can actually change that. And the things that I've been doing for that is basically subconscious programming and listening to subliminals at night while I'm sleeping, and EFT tapping. I feel like it does make a bit of a difference, especially EFT tapping. I feel like it's so weird that I always yawn when I'm doing it, so I feel like it's my resistance kind of leaving my body. At least that's how I see it, because when I'm doing EFT tapping for something that I don't struggle as much, I never yawn, but I do when I'm working on something that I truly struggle with. So that could be a sign of the EFT tapping working. I don't know. If you know anything about it, please let me know. Leave a comment down below and tell me if you feel that way too, because I'm actually curious. The second thing I noticed is that I'm breaking codependency patterns. I honestly thought that I was over that. I know that I struggled a lot with codependency when I was like 15 and I had this boyfriend that I always wanted to be with. I do not judge myself for it, but I did think that I was over it. I guess I wasn't. I guess I still had some signs of codependency that were so subtle that I could almost ignore them. I'm the type of friend that if you need me, I am there. But I realized that codependency was showing in another way. Like, I was always available for my friends, sometimes putting myself at the bottom of my list. Like, I should be alone, I should spend more time alone. But I guess I was having a bit of FOMO, and I couldn't even notice that was going on because I was always working, and every time I had a chance to spend time with my friends, of course I wasn't going to say no because I literally worked 6 days a week, so I couldn't really enjoy time with other people, at least people I cared about. So I guess it was hidden in that messy routine and I couldn't be aware of it. But after losing my job, I had way too much free time on my hands, and that became noticeable. I was noticing that I was going through that like anxious attachment type of thing, and it wasn't healthy. And I came to a point where I just noticed that I was giving way too much of myself to other people while receiving nothing in return, and I had to pull back. So I really put some space between me and a few friends. Some of them came back and we worked things out and we talked as adults. Others, not so much. So I guess that was Saturn's way of removing the people that I don't need out of my life, whether I like it or not. They did have behaviors that weren't really aligned with the type of people that I want around me. So they had to go. And I need to be okay with that. I felt like I had to put that distance so I could heal in silence, in isolation. So if I was always surrounded or talking to those people, I couldn't actually do my healing work because I was distracted. And I guess that was tough love from Saturn, just removing them. Some temporarily again, some for good. If you go through that, it's not going to be easy. So if you have attachment issues, please start working on them as soon as you can, because that is a struggle. Like, just seeing people leave you, sometimes for no reason at all. So everyone has their own lessons to learn, and you don't need to be there to pick up the pieces when they fall apart. And that is something that you need to make peace with. I had to, because some of those friends were actually going through things that I still can't wrap my head around, but that is not my job and I shouldn't be worried about it. And honestly, at the moment, I'm really not. I just accepted it, I moved on, and even though I still don't get it, I don't focus on it. I just really just let it go. I also realized that I needed to set boundaries not only with other people but with myself as well. So if I say to myself that I'm not going to allow this person back in my life because they are not good for me, I should respect my own decision and have boundaries with myself to the point of not letting them come back if they try, which is sometimes hard to do because people come and they have this, they know all the right words and they know how to approach us and what we like to hear, and sometimes that's what they do. Do not let them in. And I'm saying this to myself as well because I know that if some people try to come back, I will probably have a hard time saying no. But this is something that we really need to stop doing to ourselves. If they left for a reason. If they didn't appreciate us the first time, they probably won't appreciate us the second. So we really need to stop giving opportunities after opportunities to people until they actually break our hearts. So that's something that I'm saying to you because I'm going through it. I know how hard it is to just say no and keep your word. So you know how I started by saying that my beliefs were shattered this is my next point, and this is reprogramming my subconscious mind. I not only became aware of my limiting beliefs, I also became aware of my lack of self-esteem, my trauma, my self-sabotage patterns, and a bunch of other stuff. So I always like to do shadow work because I feel like that's such a useful tool to work on your subconscious mind in the way your mind is actually programmed to work. And I felt like I didn't have much to work on at this point because I've been doing so much. However, we always have a lot to work on. It's shadow work for a reason. You can't see it that easily. And sometimes things that you didn't know you had come to the surface and you need to work on them. And that's what's been happening to me. I've been working on changing those things and actually working on them. And like I said on the first point, it's hard, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of repetition in trying a bunch of different tools, whether is, like I mentioned, subliminals, writing things down, doing journaling, and a bunch of other stuff. You just really need to keep looking and keep trying things to see what works for you. Me personally, I've been trying a lot of things, but I have no idea whether they are working or not, because some of them are pretty recent and it takes time. So yeah. Next, you know how they say that everything falls apart before it falls into place? I feel like this is the feeling overall. Like, I know everything is falling apart, I am falling apart, my reality is falling apart, but I know that this is meant to take me to a better place and make me a better me. And I know that eventually it will all come together and it will all fall into place. And that's just something that I feel deep within me. It's just this inner knowing. Everything is going weird, like you're losing people, you're losing your job, you're losing money, you're losing yourself in the process, but you have this inner knowing that at some point it would all make sense. I don't know if that's because I'm spiritual in nature, or if it's something else, or if it's actually my intuition speaking to me, but I just feel that way, which is honestly amazing, because at least I have some hope that everything will come together. Which brings me to the next sign, that is your spiritual awakening intensifies. So, like I said, I feel like I'm more in tune with my intuition. I feel more drawn than ever to work on myself and to do shadow work and listening to my body and trusting myself more. It's like when you are leaving the house and you have this feeling like something is going to go wrong and you feel anxious and you have no idea why. And then you leave the house and you go someplace and something bad or at least weird happens. That happened to me this week. I had so much going on that I just had the biggest meltdown of my entire life. And I just cried for hours. And I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately. And I'm not someone who cries a lot. So for me to be crying so much lately, that means something. And to finish off this video, the last thing that I've noticed, and this is connected to all of the previous things that I mentioned, is that karmic cycles are ending. You just notice it, whether it's from the relationships that are ending, from the lack of boundaries that you have that you are now starting to set, or from the way you carry yourself and your energy, the way you treat your energy and your intuition in your body, all of that. The way you carry yourself and the way you go after the things that you want. For me, for example, having those relationships with people that I cared about being broken or depending a lot on other people, and just having those relationships breaking, even if temporarily, so that I could learn to depend on myself more and enjoying my alone time and actually seeing the value in it and the potential for growth by being alone. All of these things that I'm mentioning, I'm still working on them. I just wanted to share them so that you can be aware of what could possibly happen when you go through yours. And some of these things can be worked on before you actually reach your Saturn return. For me, I'm not seeing, and I hope I won't see it, but I'm not seeing any dramatic, intense, and heartbreaking changes. I'm just seeing things repeating from the past, which is allowing me to notice that I wasn't healing from them back then. So I have to heal from them now. I don't know if that makes sense. Again, I've been working with ChatGPT to help me see those patterns and help me find a way to deal with those things and reprogram my mind and all of that stuff. Lucky for me, I learned to see everything as a lesson and an opportunity for growth early on. Although some people say that is wrong, but it works for me. So if it works for you too, just use things to your advantage. And whatever your body is telling you to do, just do it. Whatever your intuition is telling you or calling you to do, you go after it and don't even question it. If you're going through Saturn return at the moment, do not question anything. Just see it, see what it's teaching you, use it to your advantage, and don't question the result. If you're feeling drawn to do something and you don't know why, just go for it. Don't try to understand it. You most likely will understand it later on. So I hope this was helpful, and please let me know what you're going through, if you're going through your Saturn return or if you already did. Let me know what were your symptoms, because I'm actually curious. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope I will see you on the next one. Bye.